Okay, peeps. We are live. If you are watching from the Twitch app for the desktop, or if you're watching through the phone, you will be able to watch the channel. You're going to see a lot of buffering going on. Not a lot I can do about that right now. The Twitch channel is down as far as going to the web address. And then you can catch us on Mixer and on our YouTube page, Searchy and Grim, or Searchy Grimstyle. Those we're broadcasting to right now as we stand through Restream. Now we're just going to get to the techie part, nerd part, whatever you want to call it part. But we have an issue at the FCC that has to deal with the net neutrality bill. If this ends up going through, start being prepared to start paying to go to certain websites. Having certain services, you will have to start paying for them. Internet service providers are not just going to stand back and be like, oh, this is free money that we can't, pass up. They're going to jump on it and they're going to start saying, hey, we want to make our money in excess of what we already make anyway. Which then is going to start hurting small businesses. Small businesses do not have the money to put out to pay the ISPs to allow them the access to when somebody searches for them. So what's going to happen is your larger companies are going to take up all of that by paying, saying, hey, we're paying you, you're going to send us all that traffic. And that's what's going to happen if this net neutrality bill is passed. There's many things out there you can look up for the net neutrality, and I am going to find, there it is, copy. I'll paste this in the chat for net neutrality. You can go there, you can you click on the little link down towards the bottom there, and you go back to a sign-up page, and you'll sign up and stuff. But all you need to do is put your name and your zip code, basically, is all you need. You don't need to put a phone number. You don't need to put your address. You don't need to put all that other bullshit on there. They just want people to, speak up about this, because it really is a big problem. Murder! I can see you just put your little thing in Twitch there. Alright, so you put that through the desktop app?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it would actually go through.
I'm watching it on Restream, so I have it on the Restream chat.
Okay, cool.
Now, the FCC chairman is wanting to get rid of this net neutrality. This is what keeps the ISPs in check, this net neutrality. I am not well versed in exactly everything. That's why I tell you to go and actually read it, understand it, and then make your decision. But from what I have read, not from being what I've told, but what I've read so far, is that you're going to lose all of that extra little bit. You're going to lose it. You're going to lose the ability to go to your favorite websites. Netflix is one of the biggest ones you won't be able to go see. You got to Netflix and chill, because you got to pay extra. Not only you got to pay Netflix, but you got to start paying your ISP provider, and they're going to start charging you. And who says that they can't stop at charging you per bit rate for your downloading the stream so you can watch it? If you don't pay them enough, they'll just cut it back, and you'll have a consistent buffering going on. You will never be able to watch the damn show. So, it's not the only one. But, there's a lot of other things you're going to start missing out on. Now, there are a lot of big companies who are talking out against it, but they're not going to reinforce it. They're going to go where the money is. They're going to start charging you for one thing or another if this net neutrality goes away.
Yeah, it was like I was saying last week. The way I picture it, everything I've read is
in support of open and fair internet regulations. Websites and tech companies like Facebook, Google, and Amazon are taking.
That was something that I was going to put on the channel. I was going to have people listen to it. And I accidentally hit the play button.
The way I picture it is we'll be going back to the days when you had to pay for a text message package, for your minutes package on cell phone. Some of you that watch this may not be old enough to know that. But it used to be you only had, you buy 500 minutes and 100 text messages. It's going to be kind of the same thing. You want to watch Twitch, you want to watch Netflix, Amazon Video. You're going to have a membership to those places, but then you're also going to have to pay your cable company or your DSL provider extra to watch them. That's the way. Everything I've read, that's the way I see that they're talking about.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I've been reading. Now, it is said. One second, I gotta fix my headset. All right. It is said on one website that because AT&T has been against the net neutrality, but they're kind of hitting on the bandwagon because people have been hating on them so much, of getting on to the net neutrality, saying, we don't want you to get rid of it. We want you to, keep the net neutrality, keep it all neutral so that, the ISPs will be strictly adhering to a set of rules that they can't break. That's basically what it boils down to. Verizon says they're going to jump on the bandwagon. Comcast said they're going to jump on the bandwagon. But they're only doing that so people will say, oh, well, they're doing it. We're going to go with them now. Because, they're for what I'm for. Which is just like a stupid fucking politician.
Yeah. Well, I'm waiting to see which big companies jump on and say, no, we need to keep it. Because it's a smart thing to do, not just because it's what everybody wants. I try to think of it. I try to think as a business person. If I was an ISP, I would want to keep net neutrality, because at first it's not going to change your money. You may make a little more. Eventually, people will start to understand this sucks. It's adding more to my bills. I can't afford it. Whatever. You're going to lose customers. People are going to stop using certain services. It's just not worth it. I'd rather go spend my money on, whatever this weekend. And you're going to, over the long run, you're going to lose money. You're going to lose customers. People are going to stop using these services that they're using now.
Well, basically what they'll be doing is they'll be taking the internet and treating it as a utility. That's basically what it boils down to. And the internet is not a utility. Your utility is your electric and your water. And I think telecommunications. I think they consider telecommunications part of of like a utility. But the internet is not a utility. And we're the only country that's going to be having this. I mean, we might as well be China for all intent and purposes when it comes to the internet, because you won't be able to watch certain things. You won't be able to watch your favorite programs without having to pay extra for it. Now, there are a lot of people who are saying it's one person's fault versus another person's fault that this is happening, and it boils down to the FCC chairman. He's the one that's putting this shit into place, not anybody else, just him. Granted, he was appointed by Trump, but it wasn't Trump's idea, it's this fucker's idea. Now, the FCC chairman was a Verizon lawyer, so you know he's only out for himself to pad his pockets. So you know that these, if he gets this passed, you're going to have AT&T, Verizon, Comcast, Clear Channel, any of these big companies. You're going to have these big companies padding his pocket so that they can get preferential treatment.
Oh, I'm sure they've already padded it a little bit just for him to start the thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the reason most, I'm not saying all, the reason, I'll say a lot, I won't even give it the majority, a lot of bills and laws get passed is because whatever large companies in that category that bill or law has to do with has paid some politicians to get it going.
Oh, definitely.
One in particular, and I won't pick a certain instance because there are way too many different opinions and I don't want to start anything, not between me and Graham, but anybody watching. But just one example, broad example, is pharmaceuticals. They pay to have a lot of bills created or stopped for their benefit.
Yeah. Is Twitch back up? All right. The Twitch is back up. Searchy just gave me a thumbs up on that.
Good.
So those of you that missed any of the beginning of this, we're talking about net neutrality. I will paste another link about net neutrality, and this you can go right straight to the website and check that out. Is that showing up? It's not actually. Hold on.
I got it up on Twitch.
Well, I gotta fix. I have to fix the Twitch. I gotta connect the account to Twitch. Oh, it won't let me do it.
So anyway, I've read a lot of different forums and things on this subject, and a lot of people are trying to push to keep it. They're trying to put it into the category of freedom of speech and the Freedom of Information Act as to reasons why they can't get rid of it or reasons why they should keep it, because it would be violating those rights or those laws. I think Grim died.
It's not. No, it didn't die. It's just not. It's not connecting through that. So, and I can't get to my Searching Grim channel, so I can't read the chat on Searching Grim. I was trying, and it's just not letting me.
Searching Grim Gaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it up on the website.
Oh, there it goes. I'm up now. I got the channel up. It was just took a while for it to recognize the channel, I guess. But anyway. Let's see. I think the
Now, if for some reason it gets passed, then I don't see it happening. But if for some strange reason they get this passed, I look to see certain ISP companies offer a slightly higher pay or fee for their service, but offering an unlimited type deal. Like, we give you the same access you've always had. Just let's say, just picking a number here. Let's just say you pay $50 a month now. They may be like, hey, pay us 80, 90, maybe 100, and we will leave it alone and won't charge you anything. I would see a couple companies doing that because they would be able to pull in customers from people who aren't doing it and end up, like I was talking about a minute ago, end up losing customers because they don't want to pay extra for multiple websites or multiple programs or things to do.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't see it passing.
Yeah. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play that clip again that I accidentally started playing earlier. This just is something that was put out by the USA Today online. It was provided by Newsy Newslook. The company Newsy Newslook puts out some, small little clips and stuff like that. This is about a minute and a half long.
In support of open and fair internet regulations, websites and tech companies like Facebook, Google, and Amazon are taking part in a day of action. On Wednesday, hundreds of websites will show what the internet could look like without net neutrality. But one surprising company is also joining in. AT&T said Tuesday it would be joining the day of action. The company wanted to make clear its support for an open internet, but AT&T also noted its decision might, quote, seem like an anomaly. That's because AT&T hasn't always played nicely with net neutrality rules. Last fall, the Federal Communications Commission reprimanded AT&T for its sponsored data program, a data cap exemption that gave preference to DirecTV subscribers and services. In a letter to the company, the FCC said the program could block competition and constrain consumers. Back in 2015, AT&T was also the first company to be punished by the FCC for breaking net neutrality rules. The company was fined $100 million for misleading customers about unlimited data plans. Beyond the beef with the FCC, open internet activists consider AT&T to be a main antagonist in the fight for net neutrality. Battle for the Net, the organizer for the Day of Action, even called out AT&T as one of the internet service providers that could try to subvert an open internet. We should note, although a company participates in the event, it's not legally binding and doesn't require it to follow through.
Alright, so with that being said, AT&T, like I was saying before, they're just saying, hey, we're for it, but they're really not. A lot of your ISPs are going to say we're for it, and they're really not. So it's going to boil down to, we'll see in the end. We will see in the end what happens.
Yeah, they'll use it as if it doesn't go through, they'll be, oh, we'll see, we were with you, we tried to help you out. Try to use it to get customers, like, hey, we were on your side, like Grim was saying. If it does go through and they get rid of it, then they'll be one of the first ones, like everybody else, they'll be one of the first ones to, hey, we're going to charge you for all this stuff.
Oh, definitely. That's definitely going to happen. I mean, if they don't do it, I'll be really, really surprised and proud of them for not, going that route. But I see them actually going about it and doing it that way. That's all I can say is I can see them doing it because they will. Now, that one I published out there, SaveTheInternet.com. You can read all about, the whole net neutrality there. It'll give you everything that you need. To make your own decision. But I would say, go out there and speak out about it. There's a little link at the bottom that says speak out now to reject any attacks on the open internet. Just click on it and it'll take you to their other page that will allow you to put your name, your email address, your country, and your zip code, and then tell the FCC why net neutrality is important to you. And just put it out there. Exactly why is it important to you? And
being on Twitch, especially anybody watching this, think about it this way. Services like Twitch being a lot of YouTube even will be done at that point. Streamers won't be able to, the majority of them won't be able to afford to stream. I mean, you'd have to pay for the bandwidth and access to stream to Twitch, to Beam, to YouTube.
Or even watch.
Most of the streamers, even if you could afford to watch, there's not going to be anybody to watch.
Yeah, it is going to boil down to that. So with that being said, do speak out. It is going to make a difference. Don't sit back and let it happen. And like I said, go to the netneutrality.com that I sent you the information. SaveTheInternet.com, /net-neutrality. And do your own research. We just give you the information, how we feel about the information, and then you guys put it into play. So now we're going to go ahead and just go move on. Our next segment here, we are going to be talking about the Alpha 16 drop of 7 Days to Die, the game Elite Dangerous, and the game PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Now these three things, I myself have not played Elite Dangerous. I have only watched Murder play Elite Dangerous. So I'm going to let him give you all the spew, and then we'll go into the 7 Days to Die and then PUBG after. And then we got something we want to talk about towards the end as well anyway. So I'm going to give it to you, Murder.
Well, for those that haven't seen or played Elite Dangerous, go find somebody streaming it. I myself stream it. Watch it. It's a space flight simulator. It's what it pretty much boils down to.
Oh, by the way, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
That link that I sent you on Facebook, did you read that one? The flight, the guy who took and built a system specifically for Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, I actually looked up the company that, like, what he built was mimicking something.
Yes.
So I went and looked up that company, see what they offer, see how much those things cost, and I don't know. I'm gonna have a talk with the missus when the tax returns come around, because that is a strong possibility for my wish list.
I
Right.
seen that, and I thought of you right away, and I had to put it out there because if you could find, I'll look for the link and I'll put it down into the chat. But I want people to actually see this particular rigging and how it's set up. It was just amazing, and
Now,
how.
you wanna show them the one you saw on Facebook, or you want me to put the link up for?
Actually, if you got the link, go ahead and set the link up for that one that you caught, that you got.
There you go. Check that out. Scroll down that page and look. The images are ridiculously amazing. And the prices are done in New Zealand dollars, which the one I was looking at is like middle of the road, not their cheapest, definitely not their most expensive.
You're looking at the
And
basic kit, or
I
which one were
went
you looking
to
at?
the one on the right where it says SimPit plus warp. You click the little drop down. I went to the black laminated board with plus SPW for 1990 New Zealand dollars. All right, the black laminated is their highest quality, is the aluminum powder coat painted. Don't need all that. The plain construction board is just that plain construction board that can be painted if you want to. And I was like, that's too much trouble. A lot of the people, if you look up like where people are talking about this product, a lot of them have said that they like the black laminated board.
Well, it gives you that.
Well, because of what they use, it absorbs any light from your room or through a window, but still has the image reflecting quality that you need for really clear pictures. So anyway, I picked that middle one, and it shows 1,990 New Zealand dollars. That comes out to about $1,464 US. So,
but you can also use it for other games.
Oh, yeah, you can use it for a lot of stuff. I found a couple images of, just somebody's desktop, and, they have the internet up over here, Word document up over here. It still looks the same. It's just wrapped around you 180 degrees. It's still flat.
Also, things that don't come with it is your projectors you have to purchase, and the software, which is the warping and blending software. You'll have to purchase that as well.
Now, the bending software with the one that I was talking about on the right-hand side where it says plus warp, the plus warp, or the SPW, is SimPit's bending software.
Oh, okay, so it comes with the software with that price.
If you pick the one that says plus SPW, that is SimPit's warp. That's why it says plus warp. That's their bending software.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, amazing pictures. The one that Grim sent me on Facebook had a video of the guy playing
with a kid in his lap.
Swear to God, it looked like VR without the goggles. It was ridiculous. Like he was sitting in a flight simulator cockpit. Nuts. And you can buy the desk that goes with this stand. That if anybody's looking at it on their website. The weird looking frame, there's a desk that they make that attaches to that, so the top of the desk comes to the bottom of the screen, and the desk actually has points on it that will hold like tablets or stuff like that. So it goes right into the screen, looks just like you're in a cockpit. They have little shelves, little boards, sections that are set just a little bit lower on your sides, so you can put flight stick, throttle control, things like that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, when I seen it, I had to send it to you. I just knew you'd be like, "Oh my God, I gotta have it."
As soon as I pulled it up, I was like, "Holy crap, that is awesome!" Yeah, that we'll see when taxes come around.
Yeah, right?
Have to do some kissing up between now and then.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do a lot of kissing up to even just get to getting Elite Dangerous and stuff.
But yeah, Elite Dangerous is a space flight simulator. You don't see your character unless you go to the screen where you can edit it and all that stuff. Or you have these cameras that you can change the camera view to see your ship and inside of the cockpit, so then you see your character. But other than that, it's all first person, flying from the seat in the cockpit. And
I'm gonna mute my mic. I'm muting my mic, so give me 1 second. I keep talking. I'm just gonna mute my mic.
A lot of people you see streaming it will probably be doing PvP bounty hunting. So they go out looking for anybody that's wanted, NPC or other players. Destroy them, collect the bounty on them. I'm not a big fan of most PvP games. But the one thing that sold me on this game is there's a whole lot more than just PvP. You can run regular missions, delivering products from place to place, station to station. Passenger transport. You pick up a passenger here. They have different criteria. It's not just pick this person up and take them here. Some of them may have a secretive status, like they don't want to be found or seen. So if your ship gets scanned, their happiness level goes down and you get paid less. Some of them are criminals. The criminals will generally pay more to go. Some of them are just transports. You take them from point A to point B. Some of them are sightseeing trips, so they'll want to go here, go here, go here. Then you take them back to where you picked them up. Like I said, criminals tend to pay more, but the problem is if you get scanned by a patrol ship, like NPC, security ship kind of thing, they will start attacking you if they see you have a criminal on board. And to lose a ship in this game can be rather expensive to get back. There's insurance cost on all the ships to get them back. Your insurance cost is based on the type of ship you're in and what weapons, shields, all your components, they call them modules, everything that makes up your ship. Higher quality, higher grade obviously costs more. So depending on the makeup of your ship is how much it costs to get it back. I've got one that's like 2.4 million to get back if it blows up, but the ship in total is valued at like 12 million credits. Credits is the in-game currency, so it's a really cool game. You can do exploration with the expansion of Horizons. You can do exploration, which means you can pilot your ship down to the surface of a planet. And if you put a vehicle bay and a vehicle in your ship, you can land on the surface and deploy this SRV and drive around on the surface of the planet, mine stuff, discover ancient ruins of a civilization that used to be there, find ancient relics that are worth money. It's just a ton of different things. Another big selling point on the game to me was the size of the galaxy map.
Back.
The galaxy map size, a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's randomly generated. No, it's not. You can zoom all the way out on a map and see the entire thing. But as you zoom out, you notice your little area gets smaller and smaller and smaller. The size of the galaxy map is just enormous. To get from the further side on one side all the way to the opposite side on the other side would probably take you, I've heard people talk about getting across the galaxy, not one edge to the other, but to certain points on the other side of the galaxy, literally taking a week worth of real-time play. Like a week's worth of you sitting at a computer and playing for a week and doing nothing but jumping from star to star just to get to this point on the other side of the galaxy. It's huge. Biggest map you'll probably ever see in a game. But if anybody's wondering about, oh, I like it, I think I like it, or I don't know if I should get it, definitely go watch people play it, before you make that decision. But my opinion, if you like space games, if you like Sims, if you like flight type games, if you like PvP flight games, it is absolutely worth getting. And then of course, you see the 180-degree flight simulator booth that you can buy there, which just makes it 10 times better. So yeah, it works with your flight controls. You can do with keyboard and mouse. You can do with a controller. You can do with a flight stick and throttle. There are many, many options. I started with keyboard and mouse. It is a little tricky. So for the time being, I went to a controller. I plugged a controller in to my computer, and I use controller for the most part for everything, except for I use a keyboard to type in a location or something, things like that. But many different types of control options. It's not just a fighting game, so there's plenty of things to keep you occupied. There's one other thing I was going to bring up here. The game's been out 3 years, almost 3 years, right at 3 years, somewhere in there. So the game's fairly realistic. You have fuel. You got to keep your ship fueled or you'll run out. You can get fuel at stations and outposts, or they have an attachment for the ship called a fuel scoop. Certain star classes, you can circle around them close enough and the fuel scoop will automatically come out, and what it does is it scoops in the hydrogen being put off by that star, and you refill your tank for free. Different grades and qualities of fuel scoops will scoop different amounts. Some scoop a whole lot, some scoop just a little. But if you run out of fuel and you don't have a fuel scoop, you got two options. One option, blow your ship up. You'll respawn back at the space station you were last at. You pay that insurance fee I was talking about. Like I said, I've got a ship that's like $2.4 million to get back if it blows up, just from the insurance fee. So you get these bigger ships. I was watching the guy stream the other day. I went and threw a host to him when I was done streaming. He blew his ship up. It cost him $10 million to get that ship back, or 10 million credits.
Wow.
The ship itself costs 140 something million to buy. So compared to buying a whole new one, it's obviously cheaper, but 10 million credits is a lot. It takes a little bit to get that much. So obviously you don't want to blow your ship up if you run out of fuel. So there's this group of people that have for about 2.5 years, 2.5 years ago, started this group called the Fuel Rats. What they do, they are free. Doesn't cost you any in-game credits, no kind of trading system, nothing. There's not an official trading system in the game anyway. So this is a group of people that have gotten very serious over the years about how they do things. They have an IRC chat channel that they dispatch all their members through. They have an entire web page, rather long web page of standard operating procedures, what you do, what you don't do, how you do, all this stuff. In order to be a fuel rat, you have to be tested. They will do a mock drill, and if you don't pass it to their satisfaction, then you don't become an official member. They'll send you on fuel rescues if you're not an official member, but only certain ones. And members will get priority over non-members. So the main thing, if it's something that you are interested in, like I was interested in, they don't get paid any in-game credits. Dispatch will, when you need help, you go to their website. I'll send you a link real quick here.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to put one in.
There you go. Right on the main page, it's a big red button that says Get Help. All right, when you hit that button, it says I need to be rescued or I want to become a fuel rat. If you need to be rescued, you hit the red one. It will take you to the website. Will start to log you into their IRC channel so that you can talk to them. You put in your commander name. You put in what system you're in so they know where you are. You hit start. It puts you into their IRC chat channel so you can talk to dispatch and any of the on-duty fuel rats. An alert goes off. A lot of us with the IRC channel have a custom sound set to a keyword that's in all the alerts so we can hear them when they go off. An alert goes off with your name, your system, whether you're on emergency oxygen, because if you run the ship completely out of fuel, everything will shut down and you'll be on life support. Standard default life support with these ships is 5 minutes.
5 in-game minutes or 5 real minutes?
5 in-game minutes. If you log
Okay.
out, it stops, which is one of the things they'll tell you. If you're on emergency O2, they will tell you, make sure you have your location, make sure all your systems are shut down, turn everything off, and then log out to the main menu. And what they'll do, they will send a fuel rat. Now, when we get these alerts, for those that haven't picked up already, I am a member of the fuel rats. I passed my drill this past week. So I have my little official check mark on their website and in their IRC chat and all this stuff. So what they'll do is all the members that are active looking to help people. And like I said, this is all done for free, just for fun, because we understand how expensive it can be to blow up some of these large ships. We will go in and we will check, see how far away we are from your system, how many jumps it is. Hyperspace jumps. It's one of the forms of travel in the game. So you, point A to point B, you can jump. And my ship jumps 32 light years right now. Your ship that you start out with jumps 5 light years max. So you can, bigger ships, you can upgrade that. Anyway, we'll see how many jumps we are away from you. If I'm 2 jumps and somebody else is 1 jump, they're going to send whoever's closest. We've had people 15 jumps out at 30 to 40 light years. Some of these ships are getting up to 40 light year jumps. So you're a long way out. We had a guy the other night, took a half hour worth of jumps to get to him.
Holy shit.
He was way out there. He was 2,600 and some odd light years out. Like I said, you do the math, divide that by, pick a number between 30 and 40. I don't know how far the one guy that responded that they gave it to, I don't know how far his ship jumps. But then you can see how many jumps that is. It took him about a half hour to get to him. They will tell you there is no distance too great. They have done, the longest one they did, I think, was close to 15,000 light years, which well over an hour, maybe close to an hour and a half to get to somebody that far away. It doesn't matter how far, they'll get to you. So if you're on emergency O2, they have you log out to the main menu. They will send 3 people. They will stage those people the furthest away in that system, the closest to the star, and somebody in between.
Mm-hmm.
So when you log back in, all 3 of those people will have you. You'll friend list them. They'll put you into a wing, which is putting you into a group with them on the game. So as soon as you log back in, they will target you, and everybody will take off towards you. If you're not on emergency O2, you just kind of float around in space until somebody gets there. We show up. We shoot these little fuel pods at you. Fuel your ship back up, and let you be on your way. Some people, if they don't have a fuel scoop or don't know what they are, we'll explain to them what they are, how to use them, so they don't run into that situation again. But like I said, it's a free service. It doesn't cost anything. We're just out there doing it. for fun to help people out. But I threw that out there because if anybody's interested in the game, it does get the game. And you run into a situation where you run out of fuel, which is very likely to happen. I ran out of fuel twice before I found out about the fuel rats. I blew up 2 ships. Luckily, they were cheap ships that didn't cost a whole lot to get back. Also, another thing, the fuel rats are non-combative. We won't fight. We don't go around looking for, oh, that guy's wanted. Let me go kill him and collect his bounty real quick before I go fuel this guy up or something. We don't do that. We have ships set up for just fueling. A lot of the ships don't even have weapons on them.
Because they need the room for fuel.
Well, not so much that. Some of the bigger ships, you got plenty of room for it. But the lighter the ship, the further it'll jump.
I gotcha. So
you leave the weapons and non-essentials off, and you get a further jump range. And my ship would go I think I said it's around 32 light years. No weapons at all. Very small cargo bay, just enough to hold the amount of fuel that I need. It's not necessarily holding the fuel. It uses the fuel in your tanks. They call them fuel limpets. Like I said, they're radio controlled pods of a ton of fuel each. So my ship holds 32 tons of fuel, and I have a very large fuel scoop. So every time I jump into a star, before I get around it and line back up to my next jump, I filled myself up already. So I do that so that when I get to whoever needs to be rescued, I usually carry 12 fuel limpets. A fuel limpet controller has to be installed to control the pods, guide them to the target ship. A controller only shoots 2 at a time. My ship's got 2 controllers. I launch 4 of them at a time. So I usually run with 12 limpets so I can shoot 12 tons of fuel at somebody. So I want to make sure my tanks are pretty full so I don't run out trying to get back.
Yeah.
But it'll happen. I ran out of fuel twice before I found out about these guys. I found out about them from a viewer in my stream. Who had rated me. He's a player. And he's like, yeah, go check these guys out. And I read their website. A lot of information on that website. Tons and tons of information. So if you want to become one, it's not that hard. Just read, study their procedures. It's actually, for somebody like me, I'm not a big PvP person. I'll PvP if I'm with other people. I won't PvP on my own just because I'm just not the kind of gameplay I like. So this kind of I like doing. I like helping people out in games for the most part. So if I'm not transporting goods or passengers, then I've actually changed my ship a couple of days ago. Upgraded a slightly larger ship. So I got rid of my fuel ship that I had. I now have a ship with weapons, better shields, shield boosters. Still have my limpet controllers, 12 limpets, plenty of cargo space left over. Jumping about 30 light years, so I lost 2 light years, which is not a huge deal. Yeah. But it's set up now that this one has the vehicle bay and vehicle in it. So I can run around exploring planets, drop down to the planet surface, drive the vehicle around. A fuel rescue comes in that I'm close to. I don't have to go back, switch ships, go save the person, because then I'm not going to get picked, obviously. It's going to take me too long to get there.
Yeah.
So I got a slightly better ship, a little bit bigger. Pack it all into one. I can explore and rescue all in one ship. And I was saying earlier, we're non-combative. The majority of us are non-combative. I know quite a few of them that have a ship called an Anaconda, very large ship. Lots of weapon points, lots of cargo space, very large engines. It still jumps 30-something light years, even loaded down. If we have weapons, we will fight back if fired on during a rescue. If we're sitting there fueling somebody up, somebody flies in, starts shooting at us, if we have weapons, we will defend what they call the client. We will defend the client who is pretty much a sitting duck sitting out there in space because they can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But that's the only time.
Maybe that's why you need a tank
procedures.
ship. You need a tank ship to, escort you there. And they keep track of everything around you.
Frank had talked about doing that. He wasn't sure if he wanted to sign up for the fuel rats. But he said, hey, anytime you go do
Fuel rat
rescues,
escorts.
He's more of the PvP person. He likes flying around, blowing people up. He's like, man, I could escort you. Then if anybody jumps in and attacks you, I can kill them. Which is, I'm sure would be fine. I don't think there's anything in the rules that you can't have an escort. For the most part.
At least that type of escort. The other ones, I think are against their terms of service.
Yeah. Some of these ships have extra seats, so, I don't think they would be against having other ships escort you and stuff. They just don't want us picking fights with people on the way.
Okay. Well, I mean, in all honesty, eventually I will have the game, and then once I got it, we'll see what happens.
It's an awesome game.
Now, me and you both play 7 Days to Die and PUBG.
Yes.
Now, 7 Days to Die with the new alpha drop, Alpha 16. Everybody's been playing the 15.2, I believe it what it was. And they've really liked it, but what are your thoughts on 16? And then I'll give my thoughts on 16.
I like it, actually. I'd kind of gotten tired of 15.
It was getting stale.
It was. Everything was just, it'd become same old, repetitive. You knew how to defend this, how to defend that. It was old.
Yeah.
Now, which I'm not going to say, I won't say that it won't happen with 16, because it's possible. In my opinion, I'm not a diehard 7 Days fan, like, oh my God, this is the best game ever. No. I won't say it won't happen, but there's a good chance
it won't happen
16
soon.
16 will become stale also, because in my opinion, 7 Days is that type of game. You will get to a point where it's repetitive. You don't need anything. You found everything. You've got a sniper. You've got armor. You've got mini bikes. You're stockpiling shit because you don't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, everything's dying off in one shot, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that the way they have it set up, it's that type of game. So 16 may become stale, but for now, I like the changes, the new zombies, the new animals, to me, the new buildings would have been plenty. I'm a visual type person, which I think is why I get so hooked on Elite Dangerous, because it's an extremely visual effect type game. So adding new buildings and stuff to 7 Days would have made the whole difference to me.
Now, when it came to me and you played the other night, and one of the things that we ran into was because you host the server yourself. You had to resituate for this Alpha 16, but you also had your settings for the Alpha 15.2. Mm-hmm. And it kept trying to revert back to that Alpha 15.2 file folder set. So nobody can log in. What was it that you did to fix that in case anybody else is having that issue? What would they be able to do to fix it?
Shortly, probably the next day after 16 dropped at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Later that day or early the next morning, they dropped a small update. Some of their updates to, like when they drop an update for the game, they have most people see the update in Steam to update their game. What a lot of people don't realize is there's a separate update that also drops for server editions.
Yes.
So when they update their servers, which is usually the same time they do a game update, not always, a lot of the times the update will revert the server settings folder or file back to default to where your game name is called My Game. There's no password, just like strictly default settings that you got to go back in and change.
Yes.
What it did, I updated to Alpha 16. I changed the settings file the first time. Didn't change the name of the game. Of course, I didn't catch it because nobody said anything that first day till this second small update dropped. So you have a server name, which shows up in the list for people to view. And then you have a game name, which is only what it saves it under in the files. I didn't change the game name. So when the second one dropped, I copy and pasted the old settings file over top of the default that it recreated.
Yeah.
Which I usually keep a backup so that I don't have to go in and retype all this stuff. As long as I didn't add anything new, I just copy and paste over the top of and keep running. So the save file was the 15.2 game save. All the settings, block entities, zombie entities, were the Alpha 16 settings and files.
Yeah.
So it's got all the new files, all the new cool stuff they've added to the game. Loading, when it goes to load the save file, it's trying to load a 15.2 with the 16 settings. Conflict, didn't like it. Me and you were both getting a little red arrow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So to fix it, all I did was I went into the settings file. I realized, I didn't change the name to the new one because it's a complete wipe with the Alpha 16. So all I did was go in and change the game name to the save that it should have been for Alpha 16.
Yeah.
And it launched fine.
Cool.
With Alpha 16, it's got to be a fresh start. To be completely error-free, you just got to wipe it and start a whole new one.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, what I found about Alpha 16 that I liked was the simple fact is, like you said, the new building systems. The building systems are set up now like the pharmaceutical company. You go in the front doors, and you basically have got to find your way around without breaking any of the walls down to get from point A to point B, which is point B being the roof, point A being your entranceway. And they have it set up that they have little markers, which are the torches on the walls that tell you, okay, go this way, go this way, go this way. But each floor, it just seems like each floor gets harder and harder and harder with more zombies and pitfalls that I warned you about and you fell down it, remember?
Yeah, the floor.
The floor, it gives way. They have a new trap floor system. You can build trap floors. So if you do PvP in 7 Days to Die, you actually can set it up that you can set trap floors and drop people off into freaking pits that they cannot get out of, no matter what they do. Bulletproof blocks, the bulletproof glass blocks.
Yes,
I mean,
the reinforced glass, the 3,000 hit point glass.
Yeah. What about that one building I showed you, the trailer? It had 30,000 hit points.
Oh, the
or
walls
20,
on it, yeah.
Yeah, it had like 30,000 hit points on one block. There's no way you're going to just keep hammering on that and get through it anytime soon.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous the way that some of the stuff was, but it's good. Now, they reduced how you level as well. You can't just keep crafting everything and your level goes up. the amount you get from each zombie has gone down as well. So basically what they've done is they slowed your level progression down so that it takes you a little longer to get higher in your levels, which then makes it harder for you to have level 600 weapons at the end of day 2. It takes even longer than that now. So that's going to kind of keep the game from getting stale really quick.
Yeah.
The wolf packs. Oh shit! I got murdered by that wolf pack that one time. I was playing on a solo. I didn't even see them. All I heard was the whining of like a dog whine, and the next thing you know, there was a pack of them son of bitches on top of me. I was dead. Dead. There was no fighting them off. You're just dead.
Yeah.
The zombies, the way that the zombie hordes now, you watched them as they went by that schoolhouse that we were in, that preschool that we were in, when we were looting, and then that zombie horde just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming, and you were like, holy shit, the length of that is just like double, triple of like a normal 15.
They've increased the number of the wandering horde.
And which is good, in all honesty, if you're ready for it. If you're not ready for it, just leave them the hell alone, go hide somewhere, let them go by, and then go do some other stuff.
I'd also noticed, even in 15.2, where we were in the school, granted, we had busted the door open, so we were watching them walk by the door. In 15.2, most of the time, they would have triggered on you at that distance and come through the door. So they have changed the radius at which they sense people, because we were able to just kind of
stand still
and watch them. And watch them walk by. As long as we didn't do anything, they just kept going.
Yeah. Now they got rid of the bees and introduced the zombie vultures.
Yeah.
And that was just something else in itself. But they'll hit you. They'll hit you hard, and you'll be infected on the first hit. But it's another way of getting feathers.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you got your chickens, and now you've got vultures. So there's no excuse to not having feathers, in all honesty. You've seen how I was... Oh, the pigs have been changed to boars.
They turned them into boars, and they attack.
Only if you attack them.
Yeah, they're not hard to kill.
But they do hit hard, though.
They do hurt, yeah.
Now, the zombie bears, forget it. It just says bear. It says bear. I'm gone. See ya. Bye. I'm going the other direction.
Yeah. They're bigger, too.
Yeah, they are. They're freaking huge. But even like with H1Z1 with the bears, you just can't compete when you're too low of a level. You ain't got nothing to defend yourself with. Don't even go near them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even try it. Just go the other direction. Leave the bear alone.
They've added new zombies.
Oh yes, new zombies. Irradiated zombies. The irradiated zombies glow green. If you don't kill them, and you get killed, and you respawn and you go back, their health is already starting to regenerate. They regenerate health. So you really have got to sit there on top of them and take them out. Or else you're just going to be there all day long. You die, they keep healing themselves up. They now have feral nurses, feral whatever the other female zombies are. They have feral versions of them now, so they're always running. So when you see them, the only difference you could tell them in is their eyes. The eye colors are different, and running obviously, and they're harder to put down. The buildings, I like the buildings. The buildings are fantastic. The new style of buildings, like the pharmacy, the construction area, there's a surprise. It seems like everywhere there's a surprise. And unless you just get out there and play it, you're really not going to get the exhilaration of hitting that new area and being like, oh my god, look at this new area. Like the Cracker Book. or the Books a Million, or whatever the hell they called it in the thing. We went in. We took it over pretty much. When you went in, it was just huge, and books and crates in the shipping departments everywhere.
I like the fact that they have changed the zombies to they'll look like they're laying on the floor or sitting down. Like in 15.2, you saw a zombie sitting on the floor or laying on the floor. It was dead. It was just there to, decoration, to loot, whatever. The zombies will stand up now.
Oh yeah, if they're sleeping zombies, you gotta like sneak in and keep them from getting a hold of you.
Yeah.
They got the new Big Mama zombie.
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus Lord. They got a new. He acts like the fat cop almost, but he doesn't explode. He wears a Hawaiian shirt now. He's like twice the size of the other one. And he's hard.
It's still got the burping sound effect, but it's a little green gas cloud that he burps out. If you're too close to him. How about the biker zombie?
The biker zombie, this huge, big beast of a zombie. And it takes so much to put him down. He's like the lumberjack of the cities, is what he is.
Like twice the hit points of the lumberjack.
Oh yeah, I mean they're just amazing though.
He must have took like 10 or 12 shots
to the face.
He dropped the other day.
Yeah. Still have zombie dogs. And they're still a pain in the ass. A lot of times you're going to have a zombie spawn in behind you. You won't even hear them until you're hit.
Yeah. They don't always make noise anymore.
Yeah. So it keeps you on your toes. And I think that's what's going to keep it from getting stale so fast, is that all of a sudden type thing. Now, if you take over a building and you don't put down a land claim bot, they will still spawn in your building. If you build a building from brand new, just putting your own blocks in, they will not spawn in your building. But if you take over one of the buildings and you don't put down a land claim block, or you don't put down enough bedrolls, they will spawn in your building.
Now, according to the settings file, the player crafted blocks and bedrolls to prevent them from spawning is now set to an area.
Oh, okay, so it's an area effect for them.
So, like your land claim size, you can set on the servers. You can set how many blocks out your land claim will exist. It's the same with. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I'll pull it up real quick. But you set how many blocks out from your player crafted blocks or bedrolls that they aren't allowed to spawn. So I don't think we haven't put a land claim block. Well, I've got a bedroll, so we've got. I think I've got it set to 30.
Yeah, you do. You have it set to 30.
I'll pull this up real quick. Let's see here. 7 days folder.
All right. Well, now that you're looking that up, there's random news. Searchy has put out George Romero and Martin Landau are both reported dead as of tonight. George Romero is age 77. He was Night of the Living Dead. Director, producer, writer of that horror genre, right? Is that what he was looking for? I never knew his name. I heard of his name, but I didn't know what he was famous for. Even though I do like Night of the Living Dead as a movie. But they say he's the father of zombie films because of the Night of the Living Dead movies. And Martin Landau, who the hell is Martin Landau? Oh, okay. Alright. I didn't know his name was Martin Landau. Shit. See, I only know faces. I don't know their damn names. But Martin Landau was the original guy in Mission Impossible back in the black and white days. He Ethan Hawke, I believe, is the character's name that he played, the one that they created for Tom Cruise. I can't stand him. All right, so anyway, Martin Landau, they all both have died, so that's sad news. Go ahead.
So the setting's been added at the bottom of the file, your server config.xml file.
Mm-hmm.
It's called bedroll dead zone size.
Gotcha. Okay.
Ours is set to 15.
Okay.
The land claim block is at 30, and the land claim dead zone's 30.
Yep. Which gives you 60.
Bedroll, yes. The bedroll dead zone size for us is 15. So the description says size of bedroll dead zone. No zombies will spawn inside this area, and any cleared sleeper volumes that touch a bedroll dead zone will not spawn after they've been cleared. Okay, so the spot that the game has created for a zombie to spawn, if it falls within that, for us, 15 block radius, once we clear them, they won't come back. Which means the floors above us have probably respawned.
More than likely, yes. And because you put down a block there, I did not. I left mine in the other town, in the small town on the other side, for my bedroll. But yeah, I mean, I like how they've changed some of this stuff around. They're making it so also that you can change your Horde Night zombies to be a little bit more, they just hit a lot harder. You can set it up so that there are more of them every night. On zombie nights, you can have it set to, 8, 12, 15, 25, something like that. It's like an exponential number of how they set it up. But you can, if the game starts to get stale, you can always turn up your, the zombie. It's not actually the zombie's hit points. It's actually the damage you do to the zombie is what changes when you change that.
The zombie count, those are your 7-day hordes, are your blood moon.
Yeah, blood moon, that's what they call it. Yeah.
So there's a setting they've added called blood moon enemy count that I kind of like how they did this. You set the number, so the description says the number of zombies spawned during blood moons per player.
Yes.
So we have it set to 12. So if there's one of us on the server,
it's only 12.
Then only 12 will spawn, which is nice because then, day 100 and whatever, you don't have shit ton of zombies coming at you at one time. It's just 12. But the more people on the server, the more zombies are going to spawn.
Which I like, because then it's not 12 against 2, it's 24 against 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, you get up there in days, you don't have 50 zombies coming at one person because it's, your 6th horde night.
Yeah. So, I mean, in all, I think what they've done is good. Changes they've made are good. The rendering distance is amazing. Being able to see the towns at a distance now, that's amazing. I really do like that a lot. So all the changes they made are in the right direction. And the new traps. There's the new traps for the AK-47 trap for your that will shoot the zombies. If the camera picks them up, it's like an auto turret. You also have the electrical fence that you can set up. So there's all these different things that they've got in there. It's amazing how they've just put it all together and how everything's going to be working together. I think that Fun Pimps have gone in the right direction. And as long as they keep going in this right direction, and they start working towards a finished, polished product, they can then get out of this alpha and actually go into release.
Yeah. Have they still got to hit beta?
Yeah, that's true. but getting into full release would be nice. Let's hop over to. Go ahead.
I was saying, if anybody watching wants to play with us, we're always glad to have more players on the server with us.
Yeah, exactly.
The more people, the more fun.
The more zombies. Now, PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It is still in early access. Now, they have been wanting to get out of early access, but because of little shortcomings that have happened, the full release or the full launch has been pushed back. They're actually talking about a full release before the end of Q4 of this year. So that's putting a pretty nasty little, go past beta, get your butt out there, go and start playing this game and full release. They are pushing weekly and monthly updates. The weekly updates are very small. The monthly updates are where they've made really big tweaks and bug fixes. But weekly they'll have all their little bug fixes that, as they get them fixed, they'll put them out there. They are, like I said, they're wanting to get this out for full release by the end of Q4 for this year. I'm not going to hold them to it because I understand exactly how much they're putting into this game. But they are doing a fantastic amount of work to get this to where it's going.
They're doing a pretty good job too. I mean, I think they'll.
You're right, Searchy. It is as far as the cycle plan goes. Don't you wish every company could do that? Every company come out like that, you would have better product getting out there. What's that? Yes, your past companies that you worked for. Searchy was a programmer and stuff, and some of the companies that she worked for, their life cycle plans were just ridiculously long when they shouldn't have been, or they were ridiculously too short when they should have been longer. They are coming out with 2 new maps. The first map will be the same size as the original map that they have, which is 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers. The map, they don't have any kind of real aerial photos yet of what the map's going to look like. They got these hand sketches and stuff, which are kind of But it's going to be the same gameplay. You're going to be running into actually snowy mountains they're talking about in this one, in the new map, which is going to be kind of cool because you really are not going to be able to hide yourself in the snow with all the dark colors and everything. So, this is where the white pants, the white t-shirt, the not so dark helmets and boots and stuff are going to come into play. Their second map is kind of like a deserty style map. And that one is going to be half the size, which is 4 kilometers by 4 kilometers. And it will be a city-based map in the desert. And basically what they're saying is that this was a once beautiful place to visit, but now it is a war-ravaged streets and sandstorm-buried remains. So, that in itself, there's probably going to be plenty of cover with wreckages and things of the sort like that. You're going to have a lot of high and low areas because of sandstorms and different things of the sort. I think it's going to be pretty cool, especially having a release date of, they're looking at the end of the year here. From gameplay, I've enjoyed every bit of it. Murder and I have played co-op, duos, whatever they want to call them. We had a lot of fun. there's been some bullshit moments.
I think that's every game.
Yeah, every game's got a bullshit moment. But we had fun. We had fun playing the game. I mean, it's not like a one-time you play it and you kind of get bored with it, because it's always different.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, I really like the game. In fact, I, as a streamer, have went and filled out an application to get a server for the game. So if they give me a server, I'll be able to make my own games up within my own server for all of my viewers and stuff like that. Which obviously, you know, when murder gets in there too, when you stop playing Elite Dangerous.
Never. I haven't played hardly. Like me and you playing 7 days the other night was the first time I've played anything other than Elite Dangerous in
3 weeks.
I've had the game 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yes, 3 weeks.
3 weeks. I haven't played anything but Elite Dangerous for 3 weeks until me and Grim played 7 days the other night. But I mean, it's, for me, the type of games I like. Elite Dangerous is very addictive. It's great.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things. Each game has its addictiveness to it.
Yeah.
You know, if you like the block building style games and with a little bit of dangerousness with the 7 Days to Die, then there's 7 Days to Die. If you like to do some straight up PvP first person shooters, well, you know, there's PUBG. And then when it comes to space sim games, you got Elite Dangerous, you've got Empyrean, you've got Space Engineers, you got
there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's that one that it failed hard, and that was No Man's Sky. But some people still like that game because they like the style of play for that game.
Yeah.
So, you know, they play the game still. You know, pass or fail, everybody has a favorite game. Everybody likes to play different games. And that is what makes the gaming community a gaming community, is the differences in the games that people play. I play many different games. Murder plays many different games until he gets hooked on Elite Dangerous. But it's one of those things. Sometimes you'll cycle through all your games, and you'll find one that you haven't played in a while, and all of a sudden you're playing it, and you're like, wow, you know, it's been a while since I played this, and you start playing it, and you start enjoying it. And are you trying to hit me? Oh, okay, I see that coming flying out.
I blame it all on Twitch.
You blame it on Twitch?
Not Twitch, but Steam. If they wouldn't have put it on sale, I wouldn't have bought it.
Yeah. Now, talking about communities and stuff of the sort, those of you that actually stream, if you have not noticed, you might have, but if you have not noticed, that in your dashboard, there's an actual setting for streaming to other communities. You're not actually streaming to them, but you're using their communities for the different games that you are playing. And they have rules for if you can stream to them or not, the different types of games. Or content. It doesn't even have to be games. It could be content. There's creative streams and stuff like that you can do. Searchy and I are going to be creating a 3D community that is going to be strictly for printing and creating 3D content to be printed. There's going to be, obviously, the CNG community. Murder's looking at which community you were thinking about for the fuel rafts, right?
Yeah, the guy I talked to was, I don't know, it started to become a little frustrating, so I quit talking. You know, I didn't just all of a sudden quit talking to him, but I just kind of, ended the conversation because it wasn't going anywhere. They don't,
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to want one, I may give it some time and present it to him again later when he was in the middle of helping run a drill when I was talking to him.
Well,
I didn't realize it, so whatever.
You could probably even just start up, your own community for Elite Dangerous too.
I've already got one.
Oh, then there you go.
When you when you told me about it the other day, I went in and looked at it, and I created. They had different factions on the game, Federation, Alliance, things like that. They already had an Elite Dangerous Alliance community. There was no Federation one, so I created the Elite Dangerous Federation community.
There you go. And that's one of the things is you can actually place in your community up to 3 communities you can stream to. So if you're playing, say, 7 Days to Die, you can stream up to 3 other communities that deal with 7 Days to Die and pick up more viewers doing so because people then are seeing you more so. So those are things that you want to look at when you're streaming is pick up some communities, even if it is just 1. But you could do up to 3. And if you do 3, you've got more of a chance of getting more people to come view your channel if you are doing that. And if you are somebody who has an affiliate, or you're running a two forms of what do they call it? 2-step verification on your channel, you can actually set up to 5 communities for yourself on, say, 5 different games or 5 different interests. And if they're not on there or they're not meeting what you want them to be, you can actually just create your own and have your own. So, I mean, it's nice to be able to get out there and put yourself out there a little bit more. Sergey and I both looked for a 3D group and couldn't find one that was even remotely what we were looking for. So we decided to create our own, and that's what we did. We created our own. And it's been, this week has been full of different things that have happened. So, whether it's in the tech industry, with the FCC trying to change the net neutrality rules, or in your games with updates, or even just using, communities to broaden yourself, get yourself out there even more, get more viewers for your viewer base. There's a lot still out there. Play your games. Watch the different shows that you want to watch. Be your own person. Read the information for the net neutrality. Put your voice out there. Let you be heard. Come by and check out Murder's channel. Come back out, check my channel. There's Searchy's channel. She mainly does her Searchy in the morning. Murder does his thing whenever he can. I myself, I try to get every single night in. Sometimes I can't do it. Other nights, I'm up all night long till the next morning, and then I get Searchy out here, and she kind of takes me by the hand and shuts my computer off and makes me go to bed. So, there's always going to be content from any of us out there. Murder, you don't have a YouTube page yet, do you?
Yep, had one for a little while.
Okay, well,
the only thing I do with it is I export my Twitch streams to YouTube.
Yep. That's one of the things that we do as well. I haven't done it on my channel in a while, which I should be doing, but I didn't. That's a bad man on me. But, if you guys are looking to come in and watch when we're playing, you guys are more than welcome to. If you guys want to play the games we're playing when we've got the games up and running and we're playing them, more than welcome to. The CNGgaming.com is coming along. The forum, I haven't worked on it in a couple of weeks. I need to finish that up. I'm customizing all of the colors, and you'll be able to, once you are a member, be able to choose from certain backgrounds and things of the sort so that you can personalize your own forum page. So, it's the look you want it to have. We'll have standard ones out there that you can use. If you're a sponsor for whether it's Murder, myself, or Searchy, you'll have access to certain content on the forums. There'll be a special badge for everybody who has Tier 1, a special badge for Tier 2, special badge for Tier 3. We are holding a Dragon Egg contest. Those who have over 1 million Dragon Eggs, the top 3 will be receiving, whether it's game codes or not. It might be just something or another that we have, you will be getting as a, you're a winner type situation. And there will be only 3 top 10, or 3 top 3. There will be no, the 4th one or whatever. Just going to have to get your eggs even more so. And you get eggs by watching the channel and being within the channel when the channel is running, whether it's my channel, Search's channel, or this channel here. You'll receive eggs for donations. You receive eggs for being subscribers and gambling within the community that we have there.
Promote gambling. Gambling's good.
Yeah. It's not real money gambling. It's just Dragon Egg gambling.
Oh, we can't afford the real stuff. What are you talking about?
Can't afford real money. You gotta have real money to get real money. But, come out and, if you just come out and being a follower, that's support enough for us. Tell your friends, tell family members, come out, check us out. And you got anything, Murder?
No. I think it's all been covered pretty good.
Yep. And we're looking at, it's 9 o'clock already.
Woo.
I know, this was a long ass, chat. I mean, we had a lot to cover, too, so there was quite a bit of coverage. If you guys want, hit us up. You got our Facebook page information. You got our CNGgaming.com. We have access links there. You can reach each and every one of us through there. Even on our channels here on Twitch, you can reach us on our Twitch channels. Just hit us a message there. Discord, there's messages there. Murder has his own channel. I have mine. You guys can just hit us up there if you want. But anyway, this has come to an end. I appreciate everybody for coming by. And on the behalf of Murder, myself, and Searchy, friends don't let friends game alone. Peace.